You know, it's funny. When I go back to that time, I think, I had my dream job. I was hosting a TV show. I should have been on top of the world. But there I was, sitting on a toilet lid at the Second Cup coffee shop, furious at what the barista just said to me. But first, let me back up. I worked for years at the CBC, our national broadcaster, as a radio reporter, when suddenly they threw me in the deep end and I was hosting a daily TV show with zero performance training. What do I do with my hands? I had no clue what to do in front of that video camera. What I did know is that I didn't want to be myself because I didn't feel good enough to be on video. You see, being born here in Toronto and growing up as a Korean Canadian girl, I never saw anyone who looked like me on TV. Back then, I only saw Caucasians, white people, in TV shows, movies, and magazines. I felt invisible. I didn't have a voice. So deep inside, I rejected the parts of me that were Korean. I wanted to be white. Not only that, I wanted to be perfect like everyone else I saw on TV. Perfect and white. Every time I'd step in front of that camera, my shoulders would clench into these tight knots, my stomach would churn with anxiety. I was afraid to show up as me. Will they like me? Will they accept me? I'm not so sure. We had just finished filming at the coffee shop, so I went up to the barista to thank him for having us there. He looked at me and scoffed, "Must be nice. You've got the easiest job in the world. All you do is talk." I was furious, so I ran to the bathroom. Couldn't he see how hard this was? Couldn't he see how hard it was to try and act like someone I wasn't? To try to act so perfect all the time? I couldn't get what he said out of my head for days. Why can't I just act like myself? Sounds easy, but we all tend to be really self-critical. Not only that, it sounds really easy, act like yourself, but the minute you're being recorded, it can be the hardest thing in the world to act like yourself. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, thank you. So I began experimenting with a few things and trying out some different techniques, and eventually I created a system where I could show up authentically on camera, where I could show up as a proud Korean Canadian woman and show up as me. And that's when everything changed. In the decade that I worked for the CBC, viewership went up by 40% in every show that I hosted, and that first show won a prestigious Gracie Allen Award out of New York City. Thank you. Today in my business, I train entrepreneurs on how to show up and then really show up authentically on video. I teach performance techniques that allow their personalities to shine online. Now, if that makes you a little nervous, I've got a few secrets for you to get you a bit more confident. But first, why should you even care about video right now? Why are these performance skills so important? Well, you may be watching this on a video right now because we are currently undergoing an online video revolution. Yeah, hear it, sister. The statistics are staggering. Facebook just announced in 1 year alone, the number of video posts per person went up by 94% in the US. Canadians increased the number of videos they watched online by almost 40% last year, and Cisco has identified online video as a major global trend. Right now, more than half of all mobile data traffic is video, and they predict by 2019, 72% of all mobile data traffic around the world will be video. Advertisers are taking notice as well. American ad spend on web video grew by a whopping 84% in recent years. Now, here's the good news. It used to be that only corporations with million-dollar budgets could get their message out. by producing commercials and buying network airtime. Not anymore. Today, for the first time in history, you can record an HD quality video on your cell phone, upload it to YouTube for free, and almost anyone in the world can watch you. What an incredible opportunity. This is how you can promote your business, your ideas. You'd think women would be clamoring to get their voices heard. So imagine this. I'm going to ask you right now to record yourself on your cell phone. We'll upload it directly to YouTube, and almost anyone in the world can watch you in a few seconds. You ready for your close-up? When you imagine being recorded and watched, what comes up for you? In my experience, training more than 1,000 women on video performance skills, it's a long list of insecurities. For me, I worry that my mind's going to go blank and I'll have nothing to say. I'm insecure about my teeth. I remember walking into the CBC editing suite and I saw my face plastered on 3 screens. All I could see were teeth. Oh, my teeth, they look so crooked, I said to my editor. She looked at me. Jaeny, I've been staring at your face for a week and I never noticed your teeth until you mentioned it right now. When I first started my business, I worked with a very powerful woman entrepreneur. She ran a multi-million-dollar business. She was in her 60s, she was confident. I couldn't wait to hear her wisdom. When she stepped in front of that camera, she shrunk. She told me that she avoided the camera her entire life because she hated her eyebrows. What? Her eyebrows look completely normal. This is the kind of story I hear again and again. Trivial insecurities are stopping women from having a voice on video. So here's the first secret to conquer your camera fear. That is to deflate your insecurities. Yes, you walk around thinking your flaws are this big to everyone else, when in fact, they're tiny. And get this, they don't even care about them. Not only that, it is shocking to me when I hear the insecurities that are swirling in the minds of women, because most of the time they're completely unfounded. Smart women are worried about sounding stupid. Thin women are worried about looking heavy. It's madness. Or is it? I never felt good enough to be on TV because I never saw anyone who looked like me on TV. I thought this was a Korean thing, and then I realized it's a woman thing too. Most women do not see a reflection of themselves in media, and it's no wonder. In American traditional media, 97% of positions of power are held by men. So deflate your insecurities. The second secret to conquer fear of the camera is to abandon hope. Abandon hope that in the future, you will be better. Maybe today is the best you'll ever be. With your thick thighs, thick accent, thick tongue dripping with excuses, sticky sweet like syrup, with promises of tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll risk more. Tomorrow I'll say more. Tomorrow I'll raise my hands and say yes more. But not today. Is hope suffocating you? Sucking the spirit out of the woman you are today? A woman who's secretly afraid of sounding stupid, though she's proven her wisdom again and again? When you abandon hope for a future, better version of you, maybe you can celebrate the woman you are today. A woman on top of her game, a woman with something to say. Abandon hope and find freedom on the way. The third secret to conquer camera fear is to understand this. Perfection is passé. It's a whole new world out there with social media. It's all about flaunting your flaws, admitting your mistakes, celebrating your insecurities. This is what makes you more human, more relatable, more real. In my business, I record video blogs, and sometimes I intentionally add in some ums and uhs so I don't come across too polished as a professional broadcaster. It's a whole new world out there. Technology is moving at light speed. Video is exploding. It's the way of the future. You can't avoid it. And here's the problem. The mindset of most women is stuck in the past. If we're going to keep up, it's time we upgrade the way we see ourselves and the world. Take a look in the mirror. The new face of video is you. The new face of video is me too. Fighting! Yes! We are the new face of video. I discovered I have a voice, and I'm using it. What about you? Will you come and join me in this online video revolution? You have so much power right now to redefine what real women look like. The world is hungry to see you. So pick up your phone, switch it to video, and press record. It's our time to shine online.